So here's 5 ways that they manipulate you or manipulate the planet to get the planet to do whatever they say. Okay, the first one is the pain and pleasure principle. The pain and pleasure principle I actually first learned from Tony Robbins, who's up on my wall over there. And I went to a seminar called Unleash the Power Within, and he teaches you how to manipulate yourself, how to change yourself so you can become a better version. And basically you get yourself to feel massive amounts of pain for not taking action towards something, and then massive amounts of pleasure for taking action towards something. I'm going to say that again. He teaches you how to feel massive amounts of pain from not taking action towards something, meaning you're procrastinating, you're putting things off, and it makes you feel pain about that. Like you shouldn't be doing that. That should feel really horrible and horrific to you. He makes you feel that pain association towards not taking action. And then the next step is making you feel pleasure about taking action towards set goal, habit, behavior, or whatever it is. And it really rewires your brain very quickly, and it shifts who you are on a deep level. Okay, and so this is the first technique that they are using to manipulate the planet. They're making you feel pain, all right, and then they're using pleasure, as in you'll get your freedoms back. Life will go back to normal if you just take this jab or whatever it is they're trying to do, right? So that's the first step. We need to understand that we run as human beings on pain and pleasure. Just like with the law of attraction, right? You have positive and negative emotions. They use the positive and negative emotions against you to direct you, to lead you in a negative way, okay? And they actually use this technique called forced continuity, which I'm going to be talking about in just a sec. It basically makes you paralyzed to basically having to do something. Like it's like an ultimatum. I'll be explaining a little bit more about that in just a sec, okay? The second one, the second technique or the second method that they use to manipulate the planet is they create a problem. Okay, they create a problem. And so, as you know, this virus came out, right? And it went all over the planet, right? And everyone had to go on lockdown. The whole world was on lockdown. Okay, you have to understand that this virus didn't come from nowhere. All right, they create problems in the world. They create wars. They are very narcissistic, megalomaniac, sociopathic people. All right, and we have to understand this on a deep level, that these people, they're not thinking like we think. Okay, I'm not saying that the way that they think is wrong. To us is wrong. To them, the way that they think and operate is right. Okay, so you got to understand the narcissist and the way that a narcissist works. You got to understand the megalomaniac and the way that they think. They are on the opposite end of empathy. In this reality, we have duality and polarity, right? We have the law of opposites. And so we are on the empathic end of the spectrum. They are on the numb end of the spectrum, the narcissistic end of the spectrum. And so in their reality, they don't feel like they're doing anything bad. Okay. And so this is how you understand your enemy. All right. So they will create the problem. They create wars literally to make money, to have more power. Right. That's the only reason they have war. Okay, that's all it's about, literally. And then taking over the land, and stealing from people. And it's been like that for millennia. And so we have to really dive deep and understand that. So as of the last 2 years, they've created a problem, okay? And then what they do is they create the solution to that problem. Does that make sense? They create the solution to that problem and say, hey, you need to go on lockdown. Hey, you need to go and take this jab. Hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? So this is crazy, because this is what would make a majority of the population feel like, hey, these people care about me. They're trying to take care of me, like they're trying to protect us from danger. So it looks as if that, they're leading us to the promised land. They're leading us back to normality. They want to create the solution. And then we automatically think, hey, this is the way to go, right? And we have to realize that they created it in the first place so that they can install certain legislation, certain laws, and manipulate you to basically lose all your power. Because what megalomaniacs do is they will make you feel less so that they can feel more, and so you become powerless and you basically become a slave. So in reality, the solution is actually not the solution, right? The solution is a trick. It's like they blindsided you, and they use gaslighting to make you feel bad about the way that you feel about things. And so it's really crazy. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned, but that was step number 3. The solution is number 3, the third manipulation technique. The fourth manipulation tactic that they use is they make the sheep fight for them. Okay, so now that they got control of the psychology, they use the pain and pleasure principle. They created a problem. They create a solution, right? Now they've got people locked in, right? They've got the psychology locked in, right? And now people have become sheep and they're listening, right? As of recent in the UK, we are running out of petrol, right? Petrol is running out, and people are going crazy over petrol here in the UK. And there's queues and queues and queues for petrol, and people there's acting all kinds of crazy about petrol. Okay, and petrol, gas in America, right? It's gas for your car or your motorbike or your lorry or whatever it is, right? Now that they have control of the mind, they manipulate the sheep who basically they got control of their mind, their heart, and they get those people to convince the people that don't believe in it or don't want to take it or don't whatever, right, to take it. All right, even companies, the people that you work for, right, they're going to get companies involved and saying, like, if you don't take this, you ain't going to have your job anymore. And so basically they use these sheep to convince you that you're crazy, right, that you're delusional. All right. And now there are some governments that are saying this straight out loud, right? There are some people that are saying this straight out loud, and it's not just the companies, whatever, but they're trying to get everyone involved, right, in their agenda, okay, their way. And you probably know in life, when everyone's going left, right, you should be going right, right? You shouldn't be following the herd. Usually the herd is blindsided. Usually it's the blind leading the blind. Okay, so if you're feeling crazy right now, then you are, in a good way. Okay, you're crazy on living your best life. You're crazy on not listening to these people who don't love you, they don't care about you, right? Not listening to manipulation. Stop listening to gaslighting. Right? Stop listening to pain pleasure principle. Stop allowing them to manipulate you. You want your freedoms. You came here as a sovereign being. You came here to do something special. And so you're crazy, just like Einstein. They said Einstein was crazy. And look what happened to him. Like, he's known in science since forever, right? So that's what we have to realize. The crazy ones are the ones that make it through. And just so you're supposed to be the odd one out. You're supposed to be the alien in the family, right? You're supposed to be the black sheep, because that gives you certain insights, that gives you certain behaviors, attitudes to focus on what you're supposed to do. Okay, there's a secret hidden deep within you. You have to tap into yourself and take intuition within to find that. All right, they say the kingdom of heaven is within, right? The last one here, the fifth one, is ultimatums. Okay, ultimatums. Ultimatums is always manipulation. Every single time, without fail, an ultimatum is manipulation, right? You have to take the jab or you will lose your job, right? That's your livelihood, literally, right? Or you have to take multiple tests a week. Some people, they get the jab and they still have to take multiple tests a week. It's crazy, right? And so we have to acknowledge and realize what they are doing, right? You're giving away your freedoms by saying, hey, I'm going to stick something up my nose twice a week. Why would you need to do that? You know, you're not paid, you're not being paid extra for that in your job. You know, you're having to do an extra job in your job to keep your job, right? And that wasn't within the contract of your job. Does that make sense? And so, have you signed a new contract in your job that tells you that you need to do this stuff? No. Your contract didn't require you to take a jab. Your contract didn't require you to do this. You had set roles that you needed to do for your job, and this was introduced. Did you sign a new contract? No. So you're still binding by the old contract. All right. And so we need to acknowledge and realize this too. And so when it comes to ultimatum, this is where we have the forced continuity, where you have to now, you know, I have people in my mastermind group where, like, you know, they're going to lose their job, and so they need money, need to pay their rent. They got kids to take care of, and so they're forced into a corner, right? They're forced into a corner, their back's against the wall, and the only way out is to follow their orders, all right? Well, they'll make you feel that way. They'll use manipulation to make you feel that way. But for a lot of you, you can pick up and leave if you wanted to. Go move to a country, like for example, Mexico. The borders are completely open. You don't require a jab to get into the country. You know, and so, well, from the UK anyway, I'm not sure about the US or any other parts in the world, and teach English online to kids, toddlers, like people who, kids that are really young, learning their ABCs and stuff like that. And you can literally get paid $17 to $26 an hour. Okay, and so you have to do your research and understand that there's other ways to do things. And you've got to think outside of the box. And guess what? You get to work from home. You literally get to work from your laptop. As long as you have a laptop, you can literally start teaching English. As long as you know a decent amount of English, you know how to spell certain words, you know, you're good to go. And that's what we need to acknowledge and realize. Okay, you do not need, they make you feel like your back's against the wall, but there's other choices. And so you have to learn the legislation. You have to learn what's going on the planet. You have to learn this stuff so that you have the power to move forward in the direction that you want to move forward in. Do not submit to the cabal. Do not submit to the DVIL, right? That's basically what it is. They're trying to rule the planet. Don't let it happen, right? This is the mark of the beast, and we want to realize that, you know, it was predicted, it was prophesied in the Bible, and here it is. So it's your decision now what direction you're going to go in. And I want to leave you with this message: let love guide you, not fear, right? You want to live in the reality of love and truth, because ultimately God, universe, whatever name or label that you believe in, is unconditional love. And the more you can tap into that and live from that, you have nothing to be afraid of. And if you want to learn more about my powerful mastermind and you would like to join that and be a part of a group who support each other and they help each other with manifestation, also when it comes to supporting each other on the, you know, stuff that's going on in the world right now. You know, people in my group are posting, you know, letters that you can write to your boss to basically become exempt and be able to still, you know, work your job. You know, they're sharing all this kind of stuff, and so there's a lot of knowledge and power in this group, and it's continuing to grow. If you would like to learn more about that, you would need to get your free energy reading and your manifestation diagnosis session at alchemyenergyreading.com. There's a link in the description where you can check that out, and we basically read your energy and determine whether or not you're a fit for the group anyway, right? We read your energy and we see where you're at, what your goals are, what you want to help and support, like whatever you want to do on the planet, you know, things like this. And once we feel like you qualify, you'll be able to, you know, go ahead and join the group. So again, the link will be in the description. Check out my 3-part series over here on how to manifest correctly. and check out this video over here on the power of staying in your lane. Okay, it's very, very powerful stuff. Important message that I think will radically change your life. It's changed mine. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.